Hello and welcome to Church at Home with Rachel. My name is Rachel Parker. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I am the Anglican priest or rector for the churches of St. Thomas Anglican Church in Wainwright and St. Mary's Anglican Church in Edgerton in Alberta and southeastern Alberta here in Canada. It is my pleasure to speak to you again today on this first day of September. I hope that this will be a blessed and interesting month as we move into school and new beginnings and all of those things. Today I would like to talk to you about a purely Canadian topic. At least the players are all Canadian. But you may have heard about it, and if you haven't, I'm sure you have people in the United States and wherever you might be who have been through a similar circumstance. You may have heard that CTV in the last few weeks canned their news anchor, Lisa LaFlamme. Lisa LaFlamme had well over 30 years as a journalist. She has been embedded with the Canadian Armed Forces. She's in Afghanistan. She has had an illustrious career. She's an award-winning journalist. And whether you agreed with the way that she did her business, we could all agree that she was a strong female voice, anchoring our television every Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock p.m., wherever we were in Canada. We don't know for sure why Lisa LaFlamme was fired from her job without much notice and with very little explanation from Bell Media and CBE, the company that owns CTV News. But the word has gotten out, and the understanding seems to be that it did so because she was an older woman who had let her hair go gray. She stopped dyeing her hair. She looked distinguished. She looked professional. She maintained that level of professionalism in her reporting and in her anchoring, and yet she was let go. In the aftermath of her being let go, Dove Canada and Wendy's Canada, the food chain, changed their logos and their branding to go with gray hair in support of the fact that women should not have to bow themselves to the pressure of usually men who are determining whether they are appropriate enough to sell something. In this case, the news. Real news. Not fake news, not a news that leaned one way or another, but old-fashioned journalism, where the truth was spoken, research was done, and it was presented in a way that helped Canadians and those other people around the world who watched to know what was happening in our country and in our world. Other news anchors, male news anchors over the years, have been allowed to lose their hair, to go gray or white, to put on a little weight, be a little pudgy, they were allowed to retire well past 60 or 65 at their own timing, with an appropriate retirement message and opportunity for people to hear them to sign off for the last time. Lisa LaFlamme did not get that opportunity, and the outcry and the hue since then has been powerful. I'd like to share with you an open letter to the Board of Directors and the management of BCE and Bell Canada. Sometimes when something happens to one of us, it feels in a very profound way as though it has happened to us all. Bell Media's business decision to fire CTV national news anchor Lisa LaFlamme in the very prime of her career is one of those times. It struck at the heart of not only who we are as Canadians, but who we aspire to be. Award-winning, ratings leader, fearless, iconic, and most important of all, trusted for 35 years. All until one thing changed, the color of her hair. In making their business decision, Bell confirmed one sad truth. Even after all the progress women have made, they continue to face sexism and ageism at work every day in a way which is unacceptable, period. As Canadians, we are at our core a fair and reasonable people. We understand well that mistakes get made by all of us, even very big corporations. But we also believe that it is not the mistake that matters, but rather how we respond to that mistake, and that is where Bell has failed for the second time. Finding a new place in the rapidly changing world that engulfs them has been and continues to be a real struggle for legacy media. But as those organizations seek to find that new space, that they bring only one asset with them: trust. And in the case of CTV National News, it was not trust in CTV, nor was it trust in Bell that was its currency. It was trust in Lisa LaFlamme. And it is that trust which has been destroyed by Bell's business decision. Which leads us to where we are today. Bell, what is your plan? What will you do to restore this trust and make things right? What will you do, not just for Lisa, but for us all? That open letter was signed by over 70 people, including such names as, I'm going to share these with you, and for those of you who aren't Canadian, I invite you to look them up. Pay attention. This is a cross-section of strong Canadians, men and women from across our country, who are currently active and who are retired from their business that they did. For instance, Jan Arden, a singer extraordinaire. The Honourable Dr. Jean Augustin, PCCM, Order of Ontario, CBE, former Minister Status of Women of Canada. Lloyd Axworthy, Chair, World Refugee and Migration Council. Jim Basili, entrepreneur and philanthropist. You might know Jim Basili's name from RIM. He is the person who created BlackBerry, the BlackBerry. Let's see here. Honourable David Crombie, PCOC of Order of Ontario. The Honourable David Collinette, Penny Collinette. The General Romeo Dallaire, who was made famous, unfortunately, when he was the general representing the United Nations in Rwanda. And he also has brought the post-traumatic stress disorder to the forefront, as he has shared openly his suffering and his dealing with that, as well as his work against finding hope for child soldiers. Who else here? There is most of these names a lot of you may not recognize. Professor Alison Kemper from the Toronto Metropolitan University. The Right Honourable Kim Campbell, Canada's 19th Prime Minister, Canada's only female Prime Minister. Did you know that we had a female Prime Minister? She was only around for a little while, but she indeed was the first one we had. Louise Penny, an author extraordinaire, English-speaking author from Quebec. She has written the Gamache series. They're a series of, I think, 19 or 20 mystery novels, which are absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't read them, you really should. Again, her name is Louise Penny. Ramona Lumpkin, who was the president of my alma mater, Huron University College in London, Ontario, and who has gone on to serve, I believe she's American, but she has gone on to serve in other Canadian posts in the university world. The Honourable John Manley, former Deputy Prime Minister. Honourable Margaret Norrie McCain. The Heather McGregor, CEO of the YWCA. The Honourable Catherine McKenna, Principal Climate and Nature Solutions, Chair of UN Secretary General's Expert Group on Greenwashing. Maureen McTeer, lawyer and author. Anne Murray, an iconic Canadian singer. Try to see here. Many others. Kathleen Wynne, former Premier of Ontario. That is just some of the 70 strong voices in Canada who have spoken up and signed their name to that open letter. There is something seriously wrong when women are made to feel that they cannot be completely who they are because they don't look the right way. Canada is a country that I am very proud of, and I am proud to be Canadian. And I am proud that as a woman I can be a priest. I can be a mother or a wife. I can be straight or gay or transgender. I can be whoever I feel called to be in Canada. And yet we still face these things. Now, some of you who have been with me for a while, or those of you, I know there's at least one person who's been going back and watching my videos from the beginning, will know that when I started this YouTube channel, I was gray. I went gray when I was about 47 years old and got my hair cut and all the color came out of it. And I thought, I'm going to leave it that way. And I did for 3 years. The reason I dyed my hair again wasn't because I felt persecuted, wasn't because I thought people wouldn't pay attention to me, but it's because I felt older than I was. I felt more comfortable in my own skin, having a bit of color on my face. I don't like to wear makeup. When I had gray hair and I wore makeup, I felt good about myself. But I don't have the patience to put on makeup every day. So I thought I'm going to go back to coloring my hair, and I like that. I color my hair because I like that. My husband has no issue with me having gray hair. And even if he did, I wouldn't really matter to me. I choose to color my hair. But if in a moment's notice I decided to go natural and go gray again, there would be nothing stopping me. And anyone who tried, that would be who has the problem. Ladies and gentlemen, we have work to do. In a country like Canada, when a woman, a distinguished, honored, awarded woman that people trust, is fired because she made the decision to be herself and to allow her hair to go gray. By the way, she was gorgeous with gray hair. Very statesman-like, if I can use that word. There's a problem here. Misogyny exists in this world still. It needs to end. This isn't about sexism. This isn't about feminism. This is about people, men and women, being able to be who they are without judgment. That's where we need to get. So for all of you out there, men and women who have felt the judgment that Lisa LaFlamme has felt, who have felt that they have been dishonored because they were trying to be themselves, I apologize to you, and I pray that you will find ways to completely be yourself. And for anyone who is struggling to find worth when you look in the mirror, you have it already. You are a beautiful person exactly as you are. Never feel that you need to change yourself for someone else. If you choose to change yourself, more power to you. But don't allow anyone else to tell you what your worth is. You are worth as much as Lisa LaFlamme. You are worth as much as me or any other person. You are beautiful. Have a good day. And if you have gray hair, my hat is off to you. Wear it as a badge of honor because you've earned every one of them. And if you choose, like me, to not go gray yet, that's awesome. Be who you are and what makes your heart sing. And if someone else tells you that your song is not appropriate, tell them whatever words you wish. I'll let you figure out what I was going to say. Have a great day, and God bless your beautiful souls.